I remember when I was 16 years old and my mom got me my first car. It was like at that time the most transforming thing that happened in my life. It was a 2014 gold Volkswagen Jetta that I named Alizé because of this this white girl that I had a crush on in high school. But I mean, she did know that I named my car after her and stuff. I don't think she knew that I was like fantasizing about marrying her in the future. But like, that's neither here nor there. She has a girlfriend now. I'm happy for you, Alizé. Love you. But that was my first car, and it was honestly a great car to start off with. And I had it for a while. I loved it, and especially for my high school times, having a car is like pretty vital. It gave me a lot of opportunities, a whole lot of freedom to, actually go out and, not have to get rides for all the things that I wanted to do after school. Not having to get up early as fuck to catch that stupid ass bus that I missed I don't know how many times. And at a time in people's lives where like not a lot of your peers have cars, and then you end up getting a car that kind of moves you, at least in my case, from being a 6 to like a 7.5. But ultimately I wasn't too worried about that, mainly because I had a girlfriend at the time, and yeah, having a car even with her, was such a major plus. You don't really have your own place to stay that isn't under your parents' roof at the age of 16. So when you do want to, what I'm saying, you do have the opportunity to do so in a car. And then, like with the guys and shit, I got to take all those day trips to Atlanta that I shouldn't have been taking at that age. We were going to the mall and going to Checkers, being out late as fuck, just I had a whip. I was the only one with a whip and shit, but we had fun together. And having a car was just so fucking dope. It was like the best thing ever in my teens. Now, don't get me wrong, it wasn't like the absolute best thing in the world because at the end of the day, you still have maintenance when you do own a car. I don't know, for me, I wasn't the most knowledgeable car person at the time, and I'm still not the absolute best at it. But I didn't really know that much about wheel alignments, and I probably went through like two sets of tires because of my shit just blowing up. Not to mention, Volkswagens are German engineered, and they do stuff a little different over there. So like if like one of my headlights went out, it isn't like, oh, I could just pop the hood and replace it and get something at like the AutoZone and like $30. No, I had to take it to the Volkswagen dealership. They had to take the front bumper off completely and then like get inside of there, do the light and whatnot, and it was like $100+ and shit. And so like I ain't even like driving at night that much because I was afraid of the bulbs going out. And there was like a few years of me having said car where like my AC wasn't really blowing unless I was driving, and then I kept trying to explain that to the people at the Volkswagen dealership, and then like they weren't really getting it. But by the time that they did get it, uh got into a wreck. I still had the video up on my channel, me detailing the wreck that I was in, but I was like really high off of painkillers and I was in a lot of pain doing said video. It was mainly just an update at the time that it happened. But long story short, dude was watching a TikTok nearby my house, and he was coming down the bridge, ran the red light, T-boned me completely right on the driver's side. I spin off, I hit fucking light pole, car's done for. And in turn, I missed a lot of work, and I had to go through all sorts of physical therapy for months, and I still ain't got paid. And a little side note, you're probably wondering how I knew that he's watching the TikTok. In case he didn't watch that video before, let's pretend this is his phone, and he like gets out of his car after he fucking rans the shit out of me, and he's like shining his light to like look at the damages and see like if like I'm okay or whatever. And he's like, "Oh, you good, bro?" And like the TikTok is still replaying on his phone. But after that, I transitioned into a older car, but it was still a nice car. It was a blue BMW. This car was named Chanel after my lovely lady friend Brie Chanel. Shouts out to her, I guess. And although this car did have like a lot of pluses that came with it, I was not the biggest BMW fan, and I'm still not, honestly. Mainly because at least with this BMW that I had in particular, it sat low as fuck, and like my knees ain't that good anymore, and I don't really like the way Beamers handle that much. Since like this was an older car, it's not like I could like connect to the Bluetooth or use an aux cord to like connect to the radio and like play my own shit. I mean, don't get me wrong, I had that Sirius XM satellite joint, you know what I'm saying? I mean, like, that was cool, and it saved me from hearing whatever is on, like, the Ricky Smiley morning show. But yeah, I wanted to hear my stuff. But I will say, at the time that I did get this car, I was already a homeowner and I already had stuff established going for myself and whatnot. So me being a young homeowner in my early 20s with a Beamer, uh, the hoes love it, you know what I'm saying? Or at least the hoes did love it until there was a flood in my area like 2 months ago. The flood did end up taking my car out, totaling it completely. I had to walk home in like knee high water from wherever I ended up, stuck at. Then in between getting all these rides from every other person that I could find, I ended up having a rental car. I rented a Toyota Camry for like maybe a week or so. Even though my insurance company did cover, a good portion of, my rental car stuff, and I appreciate that. It didn't really cover the extra $25 per day that I had to pay because I'm under 25. Side note, I also not got paid for that happening either. So if you could subscribe and like watch my other videos and stuff, you could help me get monetized, and life will stop sucking as hard as it has been. But not to be a glass half empty guy or a glass half full guy either. I mean, like, if you're thirsty, you're gonna fucking drink. But I ended up getting blessed. One of my mom's coworkers ended up getting very sick, and she was pretty close with my mom, and she ended up giving me her ex-husband's pickup truck for free. And shortly after she ended up passing away, I'm beyond grateful for her and everything that she did for me. You're a beautiful soul. Thank you, your family. But love you so much. But sadly, even this blessing came with its curses, I guess. I'm going to Costco one morning before I'm headed into work, and I get all my groceries and stuff while I'm at Costco, and battery dies. And when I say die, I mean like it died. Like the people that work at Costco in like a little car department area, they were trying to give me a jump for like maybe like 20 minutes and no shot. So I call my job and I try to explain, like what's happening to them and how I'm trying to pick up a shift this morning, and like, can y'all help me out? And the hostess at my job hangs up in my face because she was upset with me over some stupid nonsense. But in such a trying time in my life, I was very determined. So I continued to grab all the perishables out of my car, and I got OnStar to come tow my joint, and I walked all the way to my job with all of these groceries in the middle of July. There was probably like a 3-week period where the bag that I had put all my groceries in had rubbed the skin off of my shoulders. They're recovered now, so there's no point in being mad. At this point, I get to work and I'm like drenched in sweat, so I can't really serve tables, so I end up working in the kitchen for an extra couple hours from what I was originally scheduled. But after I get the battery replaced and stuff, everything's going cool, but I'm still trying to pick up shifts again so I could not be in such a shitty position. About 2 weeks later, my engine filter clogs up. And to make matters worse, the filter clogged up the same day that I paid my mortgage. So I couldn't afford to get it out of the shop. So at this point, I'm doing all sorts of favors. I'm cleaning people's houses and just scrounging up money in whichever way possible I can just to get this motherfucking truck back. And I eventually did end up getting it back, and I've been smooth sailing ever since. But I feel like that was a sign for me to just never fucking drive again because it is so ass. Gas prices are high as a bitch, and I've never really been like the pickup truck type of nigga, you know what I'm saying? So I didn't realize just how fucking expensive gas was until I had to fill up every other fucking day because the miles per gallon on this bitch is so atrocious. Day in and day out, I'm just subjugated to whatever the fuck everybody else is doing on the road, and I have to abide by that just so I don't go through 3 cars in less than a fucking year. And at this point, it's like, maybe I should just get a bike. I should just get a horse. I should just run forever. I'm banking on whenever I get the money from the last 2 totals of cars that I had, and I could use that to invest into other things in my life, all the debt that I've accumulated from missing work because of wrecks and all the other adult things that be happening. But until then, it's like, fuck cars, fuck traffic, fuck the roads. Me and concrete are beefing, and I will walk on it every time I see it. But yeah, that's enough complaining about me. This video feels kind of pointless, but I'm gonna upload it anyways. So, like, comment, subscribe, I guess. Yeah, love you guys.